Hello, everyone, and welcome in to a Sports Stove draft show here for you on a beautiful November morning. And we're sitting here mid-season of the NFL. We get a good breakdown of what the teams are looking like. We're through the trade deadline, so we get a little bit better idea of even the draft order to a degree and what people are going to need coming into the end of the year as well. So here we sit midway through the NFL, and I think it's time for a mock draft. I think we're at that point now where it's all right. It's a little bit more reasonable than it was, 10 weeks ago. And so here we are. We're recording this before the Sunday games of November the 9th. So the draft order is going to change drastically over the next couple of weeks as we get through the end of the NFL season. So draft order, it is what it is, right? This is kind of a little bit more of a focus on the players in the first round and maybe even fits with teams a little bit and things of that nature. There are things that we'll talk about today in this episode that, when we get to the same topic in 8 weeks when the regular season ends, it's going to be so different. It's just the way it is. But I think in the college football season and in the NFL season, we get a little better idea of what we're looking at. Once we get into the postseason workouts and the combine and those kinds of things, players are going to jump, players are going to drop. We have players that we'll include in this mock draft that may not even come out into the draft right now. I've left out players like Dante Moore that I'm 99% sure are going back to the college football world next year. I have in my rankings, I still have Lenora Sellers in my rankings. He's not going to make it in the first round of this mock draft, mainly because I don't think he's going to be in the draft next year. Everything points to him going to Miami next season and playing for the Hurricanes. So he's not going to make it into the first round here either. I only have 2 quarterbacks in the first round. One of those quarterbacks may not even be in the draft next year. So a lot's going to change. I understand that. You understand that as well. I've updated my big board. I've got 50 currently on the big board. We've got as many as 100 players. We're over that and that we're looking at and researching and things of that nature as well. But the current big board 3.0 is only at 50 players at the moment. We'll work on improving that over time as well. But right now, top of my big board is Jeremiyah Love from Notre Dame, the running back. Listen, there's a lot of really good players in this draft coming up. And I think we're going to see some players rise and fall. A lot of people like Ruben Bain up there at the top of their boards. He's in my top 10. He's just not my top player. I don't think in the draft he's very good. He's not great in every area. He's not even good in every area necessarily. So that's why I don't have him up there. Jeremiyah Love, he's not going to be the number 1 overall pick, although I don't see why he shouldn't be. But I think he's the best player in the draft. So he's at number 1. I've got Peter Woods, number 2. Spencer Fano at number 3, the tackle out of Utah. At number 4, I've got Jordyn Tyson. Caden Proctor's at 5, the tackle out of Alabama. Caleb Downs at 6, the safety at Ohio State, followed by Ohio State receiver Carnell Tate. Caleb Banks, the Florida defensive lineman, is at number 8. Then I've got Ruben Bain at 9. David Bailey, the edge rusher out of Texas Tech, at 10. I'm not going to go through all 50 of the big board. That just kind of gives you an idea of how things are breaking down for me currently. We've got a lot of edge rushers, a lot of defensive players really in this top 50 as well. Several receivers in there too. We'll talk about that as we go through this list. So here we go. Mid-season mock draft today presented by Righteous Felon Jerky. Join the flavor revolution at righteousfelon.com. When you go to the website, you're going to see all kinds of flavors. And I'm telling you, there are so many good ones, right? I love bootleg and barbecue. It's my favorite flavor they have. It has a nice little kick to it, but still that barbecue flavor. It's phenomenal. It's kind of a North Carolina barbecue flavor. It's great. Bootleg and barbecue is my favorite. I like the teriyaki balboa. I like the soul survivor, a Korean barbecue flavor. The Foul Capone, the turkey jerky, is incredible. Bourbon Franklin, nice and sweet in there as well. They got the Darth garlic. There's all kinds of stuff. And I'm telling you, the flavors are great. The texture is perfect of this jerky as well. They also have beef sticks, if that's your thing, there as well. It's incredible. Check it out, righteousfelon.com. Use the promo code STOVE15. You're going to get 15% off your purchase. Again, that's STOVE15 to get 15% off your purchase. All right. Let's get into it. At number 1, we've got the Tennessee Titans. Now, this is kind of best case / worst case scenario for the Titans. They don't need a quarterback. So if they land the number 1 spot, and I don't think at this point there is a clear number 1 overall player in this draft. I think you have a drop off at about after 11. I think you have 11 players that are very equally matched. And then I think there's a small, very small drop off there to tier 2 of this draft. I don't see one player who rises above the rest at this moment in this draft. The Titans do not need a quarterback. They are not going to draft a quarterback. So best case scenario for the Titans, if they get the number 1 overall selection, is that the Jets are sitting at about 5 or 6, because then their motivation to move up will be higher. The Jets are sitting at 2. They have no reason to jump over the Titans. And if they do, they don't have to pay a lot for it. But if they're sitting at 5 or 6 and they know that they've got to get up to get their quarterback because there's other teams, the Saints, we'll talk about them in a minute, the Dolphins, maybe the Raiders, those kinds of teams, you want someone in the 5 or 6 range to have to move up to number 1 if you're the Titans to get more in return for them. The Jets have 2 first-round picks, so that would be pretty awesome. You know, you look at teams like the Rams. They're not going to be up high. They have 2 first-round picks as well. They've got the Atlanta pick, and they've got their own pick. You know, would they want to move up if Stafford retires and to go get a quarterback? I don't think so, but those are the kind of things you're looking at if you're the Titans. You do not want to pick at number 1 if you're the Titans because the value's just not there. So you want to move down, but you want to stay in the top 5 or 6 picks as well as pick up another first-round pick along with it to help you out. So this pick is the hardest one for me to make, with the Titans currently with the worst record in the NFL. Would they take Jordyn Tyson at number 1? No, I don't think they would. I think they're going to move out of this spot if they end up in this spot. But they need playmakers for Cam Ward. They need offensive linemen. I love Spencer Fano. I love Caden Proctor. I don't like him at number 1 overall. So I'm going to go playmaker for the Titans here. Wide receiver Jordyn Tyson out of Arizona State, 6'2", 195. He's injured at the moment, but he is a playmaker. They're going to have a lot of conversations about Carnell Tate, thanks to Emeka Egbuka, about him being the number 1 overall wide receiver. Last year, Emeka Egbuka was my number 1 overall wide receiver. Most people had him in the 3 to 4 range. I just thought he was the best receiver in the league. He had so much playing time, so much production, and people slept on him. So anyways, I like Carnell Tate a lot. We'll talk about him in a minute. I like Jordyn Tyson better than Carnell Tate, especially for the Titans, for his skill set, what he can do for that offense. I love it. So I don't think this is going to happen, but when I'm trying to figure out without doing trades, I'm not doing trades in this draft. So without doing trades, you know, it is what it is. Jordyn Tyson to the Titans at number 1. Number 2 is the New Orleans Saints. And listen, I think the Saints need a quarterback long-term, but I think they're playing the long game. They're looking to the next draft. And I know we said this coming into the season this year, this draft was going to be loaded for quarterbacks. It's not that way. Now the following season, it's going to be loaded for quarterbacks, right? You're looking at Julian Sayin, Arch Manning figuring it out. I think that's what New Orleans is looking at, Arch Manning a year from now. And so they're going to stick with what they got. They're going to give Tyler Shough, unless it is an absolute nightmare of the rest of the season for New Orleans. They're going to stick with Tyler Shough next season. And they're going to just try to, I think, build this team up a little bit so that the following year, they're probably still going to be picking in the top 5 with Tyler Shough as their quarterback. And so then they can go get their quarterback then. So I've got him going Peter Woods, defensive lineman out of Clemson, 6'3", 315. The Saints have a lot of needs. Peter Woods is the value pick here at number 2. So I go with him at number 2. The Jets are at number 3. They need a quarterback. They cannot pass on a quarterback here. They cannot afford to wait until the next season, all that kind of stuff. Could they go free agent route? Sure, they could. But again, if you're looking to build it long-term, when you've got a division that Drake May's already there, Josh Allen's already there, you know, you have to make the move now to get a quarterback, and you're going to get the best quarterback on the board here. I've got him taking Fernando Mendoza out of Indiana. Again, he's got all the measurements, 6'5", 225. He has all the stats to go with it this year too, and the Jets can bring him in. They've got some talent. They've got a pick later on we'll talk about that can help this as well, because they have the Colts first-round pick also. So I've got them taking Fernando Mendoza at 3. The Dolphins come in at number 4, and again, they need all kinds of things. I think they need a quarterback, but I see them, well, it depends on who they hire. They're going to fire their coach, I would assume, and then they're going to hire somebody else. So what does that philosophy bring? I see more free agency movement at quarterback for Miami this year. And so now if Miami's ahead of the Jets, maybe they do go quarterback Fernando Mendoza. Where it currently sits, they're behind the Jets. So I've got them going wide receiver Carnell Tate out of Ohio State. 2 receivers in the top 4. I know that's bold, but Carnell Tate's great. The Dolphins are going to need help for whoever they have at quarterback, whether it's Tua or a new person as well. I get the Dolphins going Tate at 4. Then we get into the O-lineman. Giants at 5. Again, need lots of things, but they have a young quarterback. They need to protect him. I go for Spencer Fano, Utah, 6'6", 302. Probably a right tackle, most likely in the NFL, where he's playing mostly here as well at Utah. And so I like him. I like him a lot. I think he's the best offensive lineman in the draft, slightly ahead of Caden Proctor. Giants have had maybe not the greatest experience with an Alabama offensive lineman. So I'm going to go Spencer Fano here for the Giants. And then at the Browns at number 6, I have them going Caden Proctor. Again, a team that needs a quarterback. Are they going to take one again? You know, I just don't see it for the Browns this year. I don't think the right quarterbacks are there if you don't get the first one in Mendoza necessarily. And so they've got a lot of needs. So Caden Proctor, he is 6'7", 366, big dude, and fits Cleveland. So I like it there. The Browns can continue to improve in other areas. Maybe they go free agency market with quarterback as well. Raiders come in at number 7. They have to get a quarterback. They're like the Jets. They cannot really afford to go with Geno Smith. They cannot afford to miss on a free agent quarterback again because of the finances of it all. Maybe they find someone out there in the market, but I'm going to go Ty Simpson from Alabama here at number 7. Simpson's the one I'm not sure is coming out, right? He could return. He hasn't started a ton of games, but man, his season has been so good. And if you're told, hey, you can be a top 10 pick this season, when you look at the class next year, I don't see why you'd pass on that. So I go Ty Simpson to the Raiders at number 7. Commanders come in at number 8. Get a value pick here at number 8. They need edge help. Ruben Bain from Miami, 6'3", 275. Man, Bain has some areas he really needs to improve on. So that's why I don't love him higher. Titans could take him at 1, sure. Saints could take him, sure. Dolphins could take him, sure. All these teams could take Ruben Bain or another edge rusher, whoever jumps to the top throughout this process. Commanders definitely need an edge rusher. I'm going to go Ruben Bain for them here. There's lots of options for the Commanders at 8. At 9 is the Bengals. They have lots of options as well because they need basically anybody and everybody. They have to fix the defense. So we'll give them the best defensive player in the draft, and that is Caleb Downs from Ohio State, the safety. This is a hard one. Safety in the top 10 is a tough one. You got the storyline. He's an Ohio State guy. You've got other Ohio State defenders in the draft. We'll look at one here in just a moment. He's the best player. Like, you sit there and look at him. He's the number 6 player on my list. Peter Woods is the best defender, I guess, on my list. Caleb Downs is 2nd. I just think he's the pick here for the Bengals at number 9. Number 10 is the Cardinals. They need lots of things. I'm going Arvell Reese out of Ohio State. A lot of people have Arvell Reese at number 1. You saw the weird post this past week talking about whether there's going to be red flags with him. There's going to be off the field issues with him, but no information given. That's kind of a Bush League move, in my opinion. I don't like it, but I also have to pay attention to it because if it's out there, it's out there. And so Arvell Reese, at his position to be number 1 overall would be kind of strange. Top 10, sure. If you have some questions, sure. Cardinals, they have so many needs. They need a really good player, and they need a linebacker. So I'm going to go Arvell Reese at number 10. Ravens at number 11, David Bailey. He's a player that I think could just rise through this process. He's already really good. A lot of people like him. His stats are great this season. He's 6'3", 250. Man, he's so good. I could see him being a top 5 pick as well. He's one of the top risers on my board currently. I've got him at number 10 on my big board. I have him going number 11 here overall to the Ravens. Again, the Ravens seem to always get fortunate with players falling to them in the draft. They're getting a high draft pick this year. They could go on a run, and they could end up being around 18 or 19 when the final draft order is set. But I like this pick here, edge rusher David Bailey to the Ravens. Rams come in at number 12. They have the Atlanta pick. They need all kinds of things. They've got to, again, help their defense. I go cornerback, Jermod McCoy out of Tennessee. Injured all of the season, hasn't even played yet this season. But you check out his career. This kid is incredibly talented. The pass breakups that he has in his career, the interceptions. We'll see if he gets on the field here for Tennessee. It seems like he's close, and you would think for his draft stock he'd want to get on the field. We'll see how it plays out, but he's still, throughout this process, he's the best cornerback out there. Rams get him at number 12. Texans at 13. I have him going running back Jeremiyah Love. They've got free agency going to mess up their running back room right now. Who knows what's going on right now with their running back situation. Everyone's trying to figure out what's the injury. No one knows. Nick Chubb, he is what he is at this point in his career. He's a backup. He's a number 2 guy as well. Jeremiyah Love's the best player in the draft. Texans get him at 13. 14 is the Cowboys, their own pick. Keldrick Falk from Auburn, edge rusher here. They've got to replenish that defense, continue to replenish it as well. Keldrick Falk, solid player out of Auburn, 6'6", 285 there on the edge for Dallas. Vikings at 15. I've got them going Mansour Delane from LSU, cornerback. Again, the Vikings have several needs also. At the end of the day, defense is their biggest situation that they have to continue to help with. They could use some offensive line help, of course, also. But at 15, you're going to take the best player available, and that's Mansour Delane for me. All right, 16 is the Panthers. They've had a good season. They've bolstered things up. They've looked a lot better. They got to continue to improve, especially on the offensive line. So I have them taking the first guard off the board here. Penn State's Olivega Ione. Penn State, 6'4", 328, offensive lineman on the interior there. They need defensive help. The Panthers do. Cornerback and safety are big spots for them also. So, again, depending on how the board falls. But I like Ione here to the Panthers at 16. 17 is the Chiefs. I've got them going defensive lineman Caleb Banks from Florida. Massive dude down there, 6'5", 325. Chiefs need help on the defensive line. They need running back help. They need cornerback help. They got some holes to fill, and they're not going to be at 17. When it's all said and done, the Chiefs aren't going to be at 17. It's where they sit right now. So Caleb Banks, they could probably get him even later as well. Good fit there in Kansas City. Chicago, I got them going offensive lineman Francis Mayagoa, from Miami, 6'6", 335. The Bears have to continue to improve up front so that they can, they need a running back bad. If Jeremiyah Love, they might even trade up for him. A great fit in Chicago. As a Packer fan, I'd hate to see it. But the offensive line has to continue to improve for the Bears. And Mayagoa is, that's quite the pick there for the Bears if they're able to get him at 18. Lions, I got them going TJ Parker from Clemson. Statistically, not been what we want to see out of him this year. But at 6'3", 265, he has all the tools in place. And the Lions, to put someone opposite of Hutchinson that really does damage, TJ Parker could be that at 19. At 20, it's the Browns. It's the Jacksonville pick, but the Browns have it. They have all kinds of needs. They need wide receivers. I've got them going Denzel Boston from Washington receiver, 6'4", 209. I think you're going to see Jerry Jeudy gone in the offseason. They're going to need elite receivers there in Cleveland. Again, 2 picks. I've got them going Proctor at 6 and Boston at 20. It really helps their team out. And again, maybe they just wait to shop for quarterback in the next draft or even go free agency to try to improve their team this year, this coming season as well. But adding these pieces could really help them do that. At 21, I've got the Steelers. They need a quarterback, but I don't see another first-round quarterback here. They need defensive line. They need receiver. They need cornerback. They need all kinds of stuff. I got them going Mekhi Lemon, the USC receiver, at number 21. Steelers are an interesting one, man. What are they going to do at quarterback? Does Rodgers come back? To me, it feels like Rodgers might come back. He said at the beginning of the season, it's probably his last season. This has kind of gone without hitch so far for him this year. I have a hard time seeing him hang it up. but we'll see how it all shakes down for them. I see them going free agency quarterback as well next season. So let's strengthen that wide receiver room with Mekhi Lemon. Chargers at 22. I have them going Jennings Dunker at Iowa. Man, they've been so beat up on the offensive line. They traded for Trevor Penning at the trade deadline. They've had this consistency issue at offensive line where they've got talent. They can't keep them healthy. I love Jennings Dunker out of Iowa here to be added to the Chargers offensive line to really help them out. 49ers at 23, give me Elijah Surratt from from Indiana, 6'2", 209 wide receiver. 49ers need other things. They could definitely go offensive line here. I think you could see them very active in the offseason, free agency, and things of that nature as well. Surratt comes in and kind of gives them that legit wide receiver to go alongside of Pearsall. And I'm really interested to see what Jawan Jennings does this offseason. I wouldn't be shocked if he gets moved to another team. And so give me Elijah Surratt at 23 to the 49ers. Cowboys come in at 24. This is the Green Bay pick. Again, lots of needs. They need to continue to strengthen that defense. At their pick at 14, we gave them an edge rusher in Keldrick Falk. And so at 24, we're going to give them a linebacker, Sonny Styles, Ohio State, 6'4", 235. Arvell Reese is going to get all the attention from the national broadcast. Sonny Styles is as an elite linebacker out of Ohio State. Give me him at 24 to Dallas. 25 is the Bills' Cassius Howell, edge rusher out of Texas A&M, 6'4", 245, rising up boards currently. Again, athletically, he is going to continue to rise up these boards here for the Bills. I think they need wide receiver, but you can get that later on in the draft. And, they took a receiver, Keon Coleman, recently that hasn't really panned out. So what do they look to do there? They have to improve their offensive weapons to make it easier, but they have a lot of defensive holes coming up this offseason. So give me Cassius Howell there. Tampa at 26. I'm going to go LT Overton from Alabama. He can play on the edge, whether it's down lineman or stand-up linebacker. Big kid, 6'5", 278. Talented kid. You can play him in a kind of versatile kid as well. So I like his fit in Tampa at 26. The Rams again up at 27. I have them going offensive lineman Isaiah World out of Oregon. Again, they're going to need a quarterback, but I really think they go free agency market for quarterback if Stafford retires. So let's improve the O-line, Isaiah World. Patriots at 28, also offensive lineman Caleb Lomu from Utah. I'm starting to think that maybe Lomu doesn't come out in this draft. So this is an interesting, situation for them. They need offensive line help in New England. They got the left side taken care of this year. Great pick, by the way. Now they need to take care of the other side as well. So I've got Caleb Lomu fitting in here, but you could see them go tight end here. You could see them go wide receiver here. You could see them go anywhere on the defensive side, especially at linebacker or edge there as well. I like the Lomu fit if he comes out later in the first round. Broncos at 29. They need help at several positions as well. But I'm going to go Harold Perkins Jr. here out of LSU, the linebacker, 6'1", 222. He's a guy that a forgotten guy because of injuries in the past, and he gets overshadowed by other people, and there's talks of him trying to stick it out in college for another season. But I really think if Perkins gets into the offseason workouts, you're going to see him as a fast riser in these picks as well. So I've got him slotted in as a first-round talent. It's probably a reach, to be quite honest with you, but I like it, a fit here and everything as well. Seahawks at 30, give me Jonah Coleman, the Washington running back. Charbonnet is a 2027 free agent. Kenneth Walker is a free agent at the end of this season. Listen, the Seahawks have some needs on the defensive side of the ball. They could still strengthen the interior offensive line that they addressed first round last year. That's worked out well. They got their wide receivers taken care of. Jonah Coleman is just that elite running back, end of the first round. Great fit there for Seattle. Then let's go Philadelphia at 31. I've got them going tight end, Kenyon Sadiq. We saw a lot of talk last year about Dallas Goedert being moved. He did not get moved. They're going to replace him this offseason, and they're going to take either Eli Stowers out of Vanderbilt or Kenyon Sadiq out of Oregon. Right now, Sadiq is the number one tight end on my board, so I put him in here to the Eagles. You could also see them go cornerback. Avion Terrell out of Clemson is an option here as well. But I like the tight end spot here. At 31, it's a good value pick as well. 32 is the Jets. It's the Colts pick. Do I think the Colts are going to win the Super Bowl? No, but here they sit. That's where the current sitting they sit at here. Jets, if they go quarterback up there at the top of the draft, let's get them some receiver help. So I'm going to go Chris Brazzell from Tennessee, 6'5", 195. You put him on the other side of Garrett Wilson. You've got Mason Taylor, who you brought in the draft this past season. You really kind of round out that offense help there for the Jets. Chris Brazzell, wide receiver out of Tennessee. So there you go, midseason mock draft. There it is for you. It's all sitting there. We're going to drop the entire big board coming up soon as well. We have a few position groups still to get out there. I think we still have to drop linebackers, cornerbacks, and safeties still have to get dropped too. You can find all the draft coverage that you need right here on the Sports Stove YouTube channel. Or if you'd rather the audio version, you can get it on the Sports Stove Football Show podcast, wherever you get your podcasts as well. Listen, this has been a run through really, really fast right of this draft. You're probably sitting there going, man, I'm sitting here now and I need a snack after all of that. The perfect snack is at righteousfelon.com. It's Righteous Felon Jerky. And when you check out there, make sure you use the code STOVE15, STOVE15, to get 15% off your purchase. Follow us on social media at Sports Stove. We've got all kinds of content dropping out there as well. Our regular Thursday show is the Sports Stove Football Show, where we talk college football and NFL. We give our weekly picks. We talk the latest news, all of that kind of stuff as well. You can find that on the Belly Up Sports YouTube channel or the Sports Stove Football Show podcast. And all of these draft shows are dropped exclusively on the Sports Stove YouTube channel and the Sports Stove Football Show podcast as well. So thanks for tuning in. Feel free to leave your comments. Who did we leave out of the first round that we should put in? Who did we completely miss on? Just a horrible fit on? Or who do you think was perfect? Did you like what your team ends up with in this midseason mock draft? Tell me what the Titans should do at number 1. Should they make the pick? Should they trade down? What do you think they should do? And if they go receiver, Tate or Tyson or someone else? Let's go. Let's get some conversation flowing in the chat as well. Thanks for tuning in to this edition of the Sports Stove Football Show. We'll be back later this week with more coverage of the NFL draft as well. Check it out, Righteous Felon Jerky. Man, you can't miss out on this jerky. Go get it. Stove15 is the code at checkout as well. All right, friends, we'll see you down the road.